Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Paige, this is Seeking Alexandria, and guys, today we are going to just descend with the pleasantries because I am excited to test out this new Juvia's Place foundation. When I tell you I don't think I've ever wanted, well, that's not true because I love all foundations, but like this is so hyped, and I've been trying to avoid reviews, trying to avoid everyone's thoughts and opinions for so long now. Okay, maybe that's dramatic. It's only been out for like a week, but still, I wanted to play with it for myself. I really want to tell you guys what I think, wear it, get the whole bit going. I don't want to lollygag too much. I really just want to hop into it. And down in the description here, it says, from Sedan to Marisol, our 42 expertly formulated shades are globally inspired for long-lasting, all-day wearability. Their I Am Magic foundation was designed for all skin tones, from the deepest dark to the fairest fair. Live your magic with Juvia's Place. Now, I did grab 2 foundations and 2 concealers, so we're not to the concealer stage yet, but just to let you know, I did grab 2 of each just to make sure that I had everything I needed. I also grabbed, as a side note, this Nubian 3 Coral palette. I thought it looked really beautiful, so we're going to be playing around with that probably in another video, maybe an upcoming drugstore video, even though it's not drugstore. Maybe I just want to play with it, whatever. But let's go ahead here and take these out. So here are the foundations. We have these 2 little plastic tubies here. You do get 1 full fluid ounce, which is nice. What shades did I grab? I grabbed 720 Bali and 700 Vienna. Okay, so these are the 2 shades. Now it looks like 720 Bali, wow, on screen these, you can really tell the difference in the undertones. Holy crap. This one right here is 720 Bali, so that one has much more of like a warm golden undertone, while the other one is 700 Vienna, and that definitely looks to have more of like a peachy pink undertone. Go ahead and I'll do a cheek swatch here real quick just to get a feel for it, but I have a feeling I'm gonna like the 720 Bali just because I like that golden tone to it. But there is 720 Bali. Here is 700 Vienna. I think on camera, the Vienna matches better, but in real life, it is just a freckle too pink for me. All right, so after some close deliberation, I do think the gold is going to look a little bit better in real life. I think on camera, though, the pink looks like it blends into the skin better, but in real life, it's pulling very, very pink on my skin. Yeah, I don't like it as well. Just for the record too, I think these are oxidizing a little bit. Now we won't know until we get it on the face and all of that, but just something to mention. Also, before we get into it, and then I promise it's foundation time, I did go ahead and prime and prep my skin. I did Tatcha Silk Canvas on this half, and then my Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base on this half of the face. And for those of you that are new here, I always split my foundation reviews just to see if there's a difference with primer versus product. I just think it's a really good way to keep a control variable in play. So I always like to do that, but nonetheless, let's go ahead here. We're going to wipe off these swatches and we're going to apply some foundation. So I'm going to go ahead and start off here with a dollop, about yay much. I don't know if that's too much. That's probably too much. I've heard this is really full coverage, but I haven't like watched anything, so I don't know what's going to be too much. I don't know. Does it say down here what I'm supposed to be able to do? It says apply product with a wet beauty sponge or a synthetic makeup brush with a sweeping and buffing motion all over the face. Okay, so it doesn't make a claim of like, oh, you should do your whole face with half a pump or a half a dollop or whatever, which is good. So I'm probably going to use my sponge. Where did I put my sponge? Hello. Y'all, the hot mess express is coming through. Toot, toot, beep, beep. So I'm going to go ahead, take my Real Technique sponge, and I am going to start, wow, that is thick, y'all. Holy, there's no way that's, wow. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start going in with my Real Technique sponge. That is so thick. Okay, I think I took way too much. Let's go ahead and just dot this all over the face. Oh my gosh. Okay, all right, keep going, keep going. Keep spreading. I can't believe how far this is going. Okay, this is reminding me of when I applied, what was that? The Uma or Uoma or whatever. I'll link the video up here. But when I first spread that all over my face, I was like, holy crap, this is crazy. Like it just kept going and going and going. And this is a thicker consistency, so I didn't anticipate that. What acne on my jawline? Never heard of her. I'd also like to say that I think if this hadn't oxidized, it would be almost a perfect shade match, because looking at it right now, you can really see like that yellow base, almost green undertone coming out of this, which I don't love that. But prior to it oxidizing, it had a much nicer golden appeal. Now, I'm not sure if these are things that come across in camera or not, but just something I want to note. Also, that took me about 3 seconds to apply to my whole face, which is fantastic. That coverage is beautiful. It looks like it's sinking into the skin. You guys saw I had quite a bit of redness going on. Never heard of her. I'm gonna go ahead and just do a little dollop on my cheek to check for oxidizing. So let's go ahead here and just, oh yeah. solid difference. All right. So something to note, girl's gonna oxidize, right, Paige, blend it down. Because if they can't see the rest of your body, they'll never know it doesn't match. Also, I have so much foundation left over. Wow, did that go a long ways. I didn't even realize how far a little bit went until I looked at my hand. That's crazy. All right, guys, so these are the concealers I bought. These are so light. Also, is that giant or is it just me? I need something for reference. Okay, here's my Tarte Shape Tape in Porcelain Beige. Oh, like, how much product? That was a weird laugh. How much product is in here? Okay, so the Tarte Shape Tape has 0.3381 and the Juvias Place has 0.34. So it's literally, I think, all packaging that makes it look this big because there's almost exactly the same size. All right, and so I was reading on the website here and it says that this is designed to give you a full range of weightless coverage across 24 unique shades formulated for all skin types and tones. And then on the box right here, it says our magic creamy radiant concealer smoothens and cancels, wait, smoothens? Smoothens. Why does that sound so weird? I don't know. Smoothens and cancels out dark circles, blemishes, and skin imperfections. Okay, let's go ahead. Oh, and by the way, it is also $14. So I picked, like I said, two very light shades. I'm not mad at that. I think that with this foundation, they will actually look really nice. Then these are the two shades I picked up. This shade over here has more of a pinky undertone and that is shade 21. And then this more neutral undertone is number 24. And I think for today we are gonna go with 24, which I know is like the lighter, brighter of the two, but this one has more of a pinky undertone and I didn't go with that foundation. So well, first things first, we're just gonna start by applying it to the under eye. Now I know this looks drastic, but as you guys know, we can make anything work. Wow, that's drastic. Oh my God, okay. Also, I love this doe foot. I can't get over the shade difference right now. That foundation has continued to oxidize quite a bit, and it's looking pretty matte. Like it pretty much completely dried down with little to no transfer. That is so interesting. Okay, Real Technique sponge. Let's go ahead and blend out that concealer. Whoa. Okay, so the color, oh, the color, all right. We can do this, Paige. We can do this. Okay, so it blends out very nicely. I mean, wow, okay. Very prevalent. I really love that they kept the undertone in this really true. I like that a lot, actually, because it really maintains not only coverage, but also brightness, and the tone of the concealer is really nice. I'm going to go ahead and shape out the rest of the face as well. Wow, that is just so creamy. That's impressive. So this concealer, while it's mixing with the foundation, it doesn't look bad, but wow, do I look canceled right now. Look at how full coverage I am. Whoa, okay, sorry. That I just looked in the monitor and it kind of like caught me off guard. I didn't think that that's what I would look like. Sorry. But this concealer and this foundation, the mixture of the two is actually very interesting because I can see the radiant aspect of this concealer, and I don't know if the matteness of the foundation likes that radiance, if that makes sense. Like they are kind of mixing oddly. I think it'll be a lot better once I add powder, but just something to note. And I do notice this on my skin every once in a while whenever I try to mix a more mattified foundation with a radiant concealer or vice versa, just because you are trying to mix two very different finishes. I think what I'm going to do is actually grab my Hourglass translucent powder. I think that'll be a great set for this. So I'm going to go ahead, set the under eye, set the Hulk, set the entire face, and really take that powder and press it into the skin with my damp beauty sponge and see if maybe I can get everything to kind of come together a little bit nicer. So let me go ahead and get that done, and then we will reconvene after it's set for a minute. All right, guys, so I went ahead and I set it, and I have to be honest, I'm not loving this right now. I feel like it's kind of like sloughing off my skin in the weirdest way. Now, you guys know I don't ever hold a foundation accountable until everything is on and everything is set, because I have seen it go from really, really bad to really good and vice versa. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is hold my reservations until I'm all done with my makeup. Today's going to be a super quick makeup day, light bronzer, light brow, all that good stuff. And we're going to see how it comes together at the very end. I'm hoping that all this needs is like a little bit of press into the skin, because it actually, like, as I went ahead and applied my powder, which whenever I apply powder, I typically am pressing it into the skin, which isn't like a sweeping motion, it's this kind of a motion. And the only time I go in with a brush like this and sweep it over the face is either to like get my chin and like this area to make sure everything is set, or I'll go over with my ambient powder and sweep it over the face. But going over with a brush right now, I don't do that. And so for it to already look like I've like ran over top of it with a car is a little bit alarming. So I'm gonna go ahead, do the rest of my face real quick, and I'll stop back on. We'll go over my thoughts. Don't get me wrong, does it look bad? No, but it does look a little bit dry, and I'm not loving that. And then I also saw like in areas right through here where it appears that some of the coverage is actually missing, and I'm not sure what that is. It seems like from what I'm getting so far that I am having an issue getting the concealer and the foundation to work together. That could just be me, my skin, my whatever, but I'm very intrigued to see how this goes. So let me go ahead, finish up the rest of the face, and I will be right back. Okay, so I know what you might be thinking, Paige, what happened on your face? I have to talk to you guys for a second because things are not going well in the stratosphere of Paige. So I think the first place, and I did try to do a zoom in for you guys, but I can't guarantee how good it looks because when I have to zoom in with my current lighting setup, it doesn't look good. But the issues I am having, oh my good Lord, I am a creasy mother effer right now. I don't know what is going on. So I went ahead, I set my entire face per usual. And then I went in just like normal with my bronzer, my blush, no issues, did my brows. And I was thinking, okay, like my skin's starting to look a little bit better. Well, then all of a sudden I looked down, and first of all, I have like no foundation on my nose. My entire laugh line, like right around my mouth, these are so creasy, and you can see it's just so separated in there. My entire upper lip is separated, and the area up on my upper cheek where I was telling you guys, hey, I think I'm losing foundation there, like I have no coverage, it is completely gone. Like right where my highlight would go, and there is no highlight yet. Like I haven't put anything there for that reason. And on both sides, I just don't have any product. And the only thing I can conclude is that this is the concealer, not the foundation. And the best comparison I can give you guys is actually the Jeffree Star concealer. I remember when I first applied that, I did not like how it looked on my under eye. It looked really weird and kind of separated. And I was one of those weird people that didn't love that concealer and that it didn't really work for as well. And this concealer is reminding me so much of that. Now, it could just be that it's with this foundation, but what I'm going to do is actually run off of camera. I am going to basically take all of this back off, and then I'm going to go ahead and prime the skin, reprime the skin, reprep the skin, and I'm going to go in with my other foundation, the other color of it, just because if I'm going to do it twice, I might as well try that color. But I want to really try everything out again, completely different, and see if I can make just the foundation work given my normal set of products that I'm used to, and see if maybe that could somehow help. So it definitely sucks, obviously, having to start all over, but the amount of issue that I'm having right now, I don't love. So let me go ahead, go get all of that done, hang tight, and I will be right back for the second time. Oh my good Lord. Let's go ahead and talk about this foundation because y'all, it looks so different on my skin. It is so smooth. It's not crunchy, cakey. It's not being all weird and gunky like it was before. And the only difference is that concealer. I did everything else the same. I did go in with a different shade, but that's irrelevant. I'll get into that here in a second. But the overall look on my skin is so pressed and perfect, and I can't help but wonder, like, is this what everybody else was getting? Because for me to go in with that concealer, it looked disastrous, but going in with my normal products, I used my Tarte Shape Tape in Porcelain Beige for concealer, and it just worked. Oh my god, it was flawless. So here's what I can say that are a couple of key points. This foundation does not or did not like the concealer. I think that's obvious at this point. It is a more radiant concealer. It reminds me so much of the Jeffree Star concealer, both in coverage, the way that it fanned out onto my eye. It was nice and bright, but it didn't give me a lot of coverage, but it gave me some coverage. The coverage I did get kind of moved around a little bit, which was frustrating, and I had a really difficult time getting the concealer to like blend in with my products. Now, I will take that concealer and try it with a different foundation, maybe a more luminous foundation. Maybe it would be a little bit better in that respect. But for me, I think that the foundation and the concealer, they just do not work together. I do think for a lot of people, they will work together, just not me. And I say that based on a lot of people really loving the Jeffree Star concealer. It works great for them. It doesn't fan out weird. It doesn't get really thinned out. On my under eyes and like face, the Jeffree Star concealer and this concealer both almost got like an oily film in them that like separated as it went over my skin, and it made my skin look like I was smearing like vegetable grease on it. And I don't know why it does that, because I've used other more natural finish or even radiant concealers, or like the NARS creamy, the NARS Radiant Concealer is actually, I think think the name of it. That one doesn't do that on my skin. The one from Flower Beauty, they have like a really beautiful luminous type of concealer. That one doesn't do it. Like, there's a lot of other concealers that do pull more radiant that don't do that. Even the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, that's one of my favorite concealers of all time, and that's more of a natural finish. So I don't think it's an issue with the radiance itself. I think it's the formulation of the radiance, or what they use to make up the radiance. I also want to touch on the shade, because if you're looking at me, you're probably like, Paige, that's damn near a perfect shade match, which it is now, okay? It took me a minute to get here. The shade isn't bad. I'm still not going to say that I think one shade is a perfect match over the other. This one, I think, ended up like where the other one had almost like a green olive undertone to it that started off golden and shifted in that direction. This one started off with a pink undertone that got much more pink and actually ended up looking a little bit sunburn on my face. Like, that's the level of pink we're talking. And it wasn't bad. It was easy to correct, which is nice. As far as how this is looking right now, I've been wearing it for probably about, I would say, half hour to an hour. I am having a little bit of like crusty cakey going on around my nose right here. Now, this isn't anything bad or unusual. I oftentimes have this around like right in the crook of my nose. I'm not one of those blessed people that just has smooth nose lines. I don't know who these people are that have smooth noses and just like, oh, this crevasse doesn't collect anything. Bitch, mine does. Mine stores stuff in there like it's a pantry. Like, we're gonna tidy up for winter. Like, we need to store up, honey. Like, it is a whole situation. My nose is a pack rat right in this crevasse. So I don't know if yours is nice and smooth. Mine is not. So I don't take offense to it. As long as it's not too bad, I'm fine with it. Overall, this foundation does pull pretty matte on my skin, which I don't hate because I am more on like the normal to oily side. But I would also note that if you're on like the dry side, I don't think you would have to set this. I think you could get away with just going in where you want to, blending it out, and calling it a day as far as powder goes. I don't think you'd have to set it all the way. But anyways, you guys, now I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do the rest of my day now that I've done my makeup twice. Hello. And I'm going to see how this wears. We're going to get a feel for it, all that good stuff. I will be back at the end of the day to go over and give you my final thoughts. So hang tight and I will be right back. Okay, you guys, it is officially the end of the day and I wanted to come back on here. I was turning myself into an old lady pumpkin with my old lady sweater, and I wanted to give you my final thoughts on this foundation before I wrapped it in for the night. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of fire through those rapid fire and just give you like bullet points of what I think. As far as how it wore, pretty well. I've been wearing it for about 7 hours at this point, and what I like about it is that overall I feel like on the planes of my face through here as well as on my forehead, it stayed pretty smooth. Now, to the contrary of that, what I didn't like so much is that on my nose it did get very easy to rub off. Not so much that I have like holes or like missing foundation on my nose, but definitely enough to where when I'm up close I can tell that it's kind of sloughed off. Now, that's not something you'll be able to see so much on camera, but still something to note. On the sides of my nose, right down through here, it did start to break up and kind of leave the cracks in my nose, which again, I'm not mad at that. That's pretty common for me. And then aside from that, as far as how it physically wore on the face, both sides, so regardless of primer, I did notice that it fell into my smile lines quite a bit, but it was kind of shocking because as far as like the Hulk wrinkle and all of these other creases up here, I didn't have a ton of settling, which is very interesting. Overall, the wear of it and its ability to stay on my skin wasn't awful. But I think for this, what kind of, you know, has me a little bit on edge with it is the overall, like how matte this foundation is on the skin. I don't love that. I'm having a really difficult time, and I am normal to oily, so keep that in mind. Like when it comes to a matte foundation, that is my preference. But for this one, for some reason, it looked so overly matte on the skin, like unnecessarily matte. If you do like a more matte foundation, I think this could work really well for you. I think this will be one of those foundations though that if it's matte, you're going to want to keep it matte. You know what I mean? It's not going to be the kind of foundation that like, oh, it's a matte foundation, but I'm going to like try and dewy it up. No, this is going to be like a stay in your lane. It's a matte foundation, and I think it will thrive that way. So what I'm going to end up doing, just in case you're new here and you don't know, every 2 to 3 weeks I do what I call a product update video where I've continued to test out all of these products, no matter if it's a foundation, a concealer, a powder, a eyeshadow, it doesn't matter. I update you guys in 2 to 3 weeks on a bunch of different products and I say, hey, this is what I found, this is what I think. Whether my opinion stayed the same, it varied, whatever, I always let you guys know as much as possible what my updated thoughts and opinions are. So definitely stay tuned, subscribe, turn on your post notifications if that is something that you are into. So those are my thoughts. Again, let me know know all of yours down below. And while you guys are down there, I want to hear from you. I want to know all of your thoughts, opinions on this, anything you want to see that's coming up, new launches, all of that, full face of this, try that, whatever you have to say, leave it all down below. I love hearing from you guys. If you're down there, don't forget you can scuttle on up to that description box. Check me out on Instagram and on Twitter. They are both listed down below, and they're hyperlinks, so all you have to do is click them, click follow. I'm mainly on Instagram. I check in, I hang out with you guys. I tell you stories about when my pizza doesn't show up on Memorial Day weekend. Oh my god, Lord, I was so sad. So definitely check me out over there for the day-to-day life, me regaling you with my stories, blog posts, whatever. It's all over there. And while you're here, like I said, if you haven't done so yet, you can subscribe and turn on your post notifications on the wonderful world of YouTube, because y'all, I upload 5 videos a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So if you like good, fun, fresh, daily content, bright and early between 6 and 7 a.m. my time here in Northern Michigan, girl, it is the way to go. We wake up, we do our things together, we get ready, drink our coffee. It's humor, it's lighthearted, it's new, it's old, it doesn't matter. It's just a good way to start the day and be, you know, just with somebody, I don't know, that like enjoys makeup or enjoys humor or slight sarcasm as much as you. I don't know. It's my thing. I really love waking up with you guys every day. So that is it, you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Please do not forget to have a great day, night, weekend, whatever it is when you're watching this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. I am the ultimate old woman. I'm just like, I have my old lady sweater. Seriously, I'm 97 and I'm not mad at it. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Paige, this is Seeking Alexandria, and we're gonna skip right through any hubbly bubbly bull. What was I gonna say? What is it? Oh, it's hair. Wow. I might as well take these brows off too, because otherwise I'm gonna be here for an hour trying to go around them. So that was sad. I should have stopped before the brows, but no, just had to do the brows. Had to do it. I think the farmers are back. No, you have a nice tractor. No, really, sir, you have a nice tractor. Really cool. Take your time. Keep it up. I don't mind. I'll wait. I love it. It's so good. I love that everything you people own makes noise. Literally every single item. It's great. Don't get me wrong, all right? I'm not like thinking you should haul corn with a Prius, but I'm just saying, would it kill you to make a little less noise?